If you've ever been on a high altitude expedition, you'll know that you can't even start to think about the climbing challenges until you've sorted out your camp admin. Getting enough clean water is critical for all mountain expeditions, and even more so at high altitude where dehydration can become dangerous really quickly. The clips showing now give you an idea of our camp environments on a self-supported mountaineering trip in Bolivia, where my husband Tom and I were operating in remote, high-altitude environments where clean drinking water wasn't available. Streams, lakes and snow can carry sediment, bacteria, viruses, parasites, toxins, heavy metals and chemicals, so knowing how to choose your water source and what to do with it is really important to reduce the risk of becoming unwell as a result of contaminated water. In this video, I'll show you what we did to ensure we had safe drinking waters throughout the expedition. There are other methods, but these are the ones that we've used time and again. On this trip, we used a Sawyer water filter, which we've always found simple and dependable. This isn't an advert, I'm not sponsored, just a fan. The Sawyer filter works by pushing water through tiny hollow fibre membranes that remove bacteria, protozoa and microplastics. It's really lightweight, compact, simple and inexpensive. The first step is to collect your water. This is the most important thing really. You need to find the cleanest source available. Ideally you want flowing water like a stream rather than stagnant pools. And always make sure that it's above any areas that people have used as toilets or for any other waste. You just fill the supplied squeeze pouch or any compatible water bottle and you screw the water filter onto the top of the pouch, making sure it's snug so that water can't leak around the threads. Once it's attached, you just squeeze the pouch to push water through the filter. The clean water will come out of the nozzle on the other side. Over time, the filter can sometimes become slower because the particles are trapped inside. When this happens, it's simple to sort out. You just back flush using a syringe that's supplied when you buy the filter. These filters remove 99.999% of all bacteria such as Salmonella, cholera, E. coli, and they also remove 99.999% of protozoa like Giardia. They also remove all microplastics. They can't remove chemical, heavy metals or toxins, so again choosing the best water supply is really important, and hopefully in these remote mountain areas these contaminants are unlikely. This filter also doesn't remove viruses. The way that viruses such as polio, hepatitis, norovirus, enterovirus can get into a water system is from excrement of infected people. So infected, untreated raw sewage must be present for these types of viruses to get into water. And even in underdeveloped countries, this is pretty rare, but it can happen particularly in flooded areas. Polio is the most rare and most Westerners are already vaccinated. Hepatitis A, not so rare, but vaccines are recommended for travel to certain areas. Many people use extra protection for their water, such as chlorine or iodine, to purify that water and kill those viruses. I've never used chlorine or iodine when I'm using my Sawyer filter and never had a problem so far. But of course, this relies on careful choice of water source and it depends on where you are. If I went to a busier mountain base camp where hygiene was concerning, I would use my filter and iodine as well to get rid of any viruses that might be present. At our high camps, there wasn't any liquid water available, so melting snow was the only source of drinking water.
What are you doing, Han?
Just trying to get some snow for melting water to have a hot drink. The first step is to collect some clean snow, ideally from fresh, undisturbed areas away from any footprints, camping site or any debris. Start with a small amount, let it melt down and then keep adding more as the water level rises. Once the snow is completely melted, bring it to the boil for about 3 minutes. Boiling water kills most bacteria, viruses and parasites. Once the water's cooled, if it's really cloudy, it's important to filter it to try and get some of that sediment out. Melting snow takes a lot of time and fuel, but in some high alpine environments it's often the only way to stay hydrated. Remember to pack enough fuel if you'll be relying on melting snow for water.
Please follow, subscribe and share, and please get in touch if there's any topics that you'd like me to cover.
If you want to learn mountain medicine in more detail, check out my online courses, Cold, Illness and Injury, Humans at High Altitude and Women's Health for Mountain Adventures. And for anyone who's interested in mountain medicine, and they're self-paced courses so you can do them at home in your own time.